Hello everybody, and welcome to my channel. You can change or fix your rear brake pads and rotors on your car. So in general you are going to need these stuff: torque wrench, wiping paper, some jack stands, brake cleaner, some anti-seize paste, and a synthetic oil, a thread locker for some cases, a wire brush, and the ratchet and the socket for itself. And you may need also this screw to unscrew the rotor itself, and the bungee cord in order to hang the caliper. And depending on your car, you may need some mechanism, or you can also do it with a pry bar to undo to press actually the caliper piston into its bore, and a jack stand itself. If you are going to change the rotors and the brake pads, for sure you need to buy them as well. Since we are going to work on the rear axle and the handbrake is on the rear axle, and depending also on the differential of your car, in my case it's the front differential, so it's necessary to fix it from movements here. We will release the handbrake so that there is no contact between the brake shoes of the handbrake and the brake disc itself, otherwise you cannot bring out the brake rotors. Also take a look at the angle of the handbrake here. After adjusting it, it may come down. In our case, our car is a front differential, so we don't need to put the gear lever in neutral. It will be remaining in the park. But if your car has a rear differential, you need to put it on neutral. Before raising the car with the jack, unscrew the lug nuts. Next, raise the car. Then fix the jack stands underneath and bring down the car over the jack stands. As a extra measure of safety, I just leave the jack stand underneath. We have different mechanisms. Once the main brake system with the brake lining here, and also we have for the handbrake an extra brake inside with the brake shoes. So this is where you can adjust the brake shoes, and these are the holes, if you can see, where you can screw them and bring the whole rotor out. In my case, I don't need to change the rotor and the brake pads, they look very well, but I will just show you. So this is now the caliper itself, and this is the brake pads inside. So we need to first of all open these two. This is the view of the back of the caliper bracket, so we need to unscrew this bolt here and the one back there. So I am going to loosen them up. So just notice the thread locker here over that. Once you have removed the bolts here, you just need to press it so that the piston goes inside, and then you can easily bring the whole caliper out and then hang it here with your bungee cord so that the brake lining is not under stress. Remove the brake pads. You can already see that for the rear brakes they're pretty small because there's not so much pressure. You can also check the surface and just make sure that they look good and there is not a big groove inside or such a thing. You can now remove the caliper bracket from here. Just spraying some brake cleaner to help it loosen later. So in order to unscrew these bolts, you can either use a kind of a pry bar or use this impact wrench. Now we can undo the whole caliper bracket here, and then you can see the brake hardware. Let's just remove them. Let's now check these sliding pins. You can see this one is moving fairly easily, however the other one has problem moving. This can make problem once you're braking. So I just covered the boots here not to damage them, and then start to clean it. Now you can see that they are clean. I will put them aside. You can remove this cover here. This is to adjust the handbrake. Put the screw here. I have removed this. You can see the whole brake shoe. These are for the handbrake inside. Just use some brake cleaner, don't be afraid to use it. So in this car, since we have the caliper and the brake line here, we have the handbrake, which is activated by a cable. So here we will not see any piston, just a handbrake inside. This part is actually the one that later we are going to adjust our handbrake from that hole in the brake rotor. And put some anti-seize over that. So also put some anti-seize over the contact patch of the brake hardware and the caliper bracket. This will avoid noises which can be made later. But be careful not to be too generous, and just put as much as it is needed, because you don't want to come these things in contact with the brake disc. I will put them inside here. There is actually nothing you can do wrong. Put it inside and press. It will be centered automatically. However, in some other cars you may need to do it with respect to your car and put it exactly in the center. Let's take care of the boots. So this one has a plastic over that. You need to be careful with that later. Let's put some synthetic oil over that. I will put some inside like that, and also some. Now we can see that this moves easily, this one too. Looks good. The next step is to clean the rotor with some brake cleaner. Then we will install it easily like that. Looks good. In order to adjust the handbrake, you need to turn that thing from this hole. You need to turn it as much as it is still turning easily. I just turned it enough. You see it is still moving freely, however it is the tightest now. The mounting of the caliper bracket, we will keep this as you can see, so that the slide pins go towards inside the car, and then we place this. See, this will come in the inner side of the parts. So, and then we will fasten the bolts from behind. There are two 40mm bolts. We will put some thread locker over these. So let's take the brake caliper bracket and just install them here. Torque them down to 47 Nm. I will release the caliper itself. I would also like to clean it a little. And put some anti-seize also over the piston. Now I will just put the brake pads. Then the brake caliper. Once mounting, be careful so that these guides are aligned. And then you can screw the bolts and then torque them down to 30 Nm. Now torque the slider pins bolts to 30 Nm. Don't forget to put this pin back here. Next, bring the tire back again and remove the bungee cord. So once you have just hand tightened these, you can do the other side of the car. Now we jack the car up and then remove the jacket stand from both sides. Now slowly bring the car down. Once the car is down, now torque them down to 110 Nm. I will just do it by hand. Don't forget to press the brake pedal repeatedly to make up some pressure. Now you can see once I pull the handbrake, it does not come as much as before up. So that was the change of the rear brake rotors and brake pads. Thank you for watching. Subscribe us and like the video.